Hi, I'm Mickey, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to slow down what are some of the key postures that when you're practicing yoga a lot in studios, these sequences and postures are very often part of what you're practicing in the studio. And that's when you're practicing vinyasa, the most popular style of yoga in the world now. Flow classes like slow flow, flow to restore, even some hatha classes, they include these postures and these sequences that we're going to do today. But as I often say, when you are practicing yoga in large studio classes, maybe there's 30, sometimes there's 40 classes, 40 people in the class, and you're at the back of the class, very often you're looking more at the people around you and what they're doing than you are the teacher, because the teacher's quite far away, or the teacher is talking and cueing the flow in and isn't actually demonstrating how to do it. And number one, if you're not used to that type of language that teachers use, that type of cueing in, then you might feel completely lost. And secondly, you're looking at the people around you and they might be like you, maybe they're quite new to yoga and they're also quite lost and don't know the language that the teacher's using. And what happens in this situation is that you end up practicing things like downward facing dog, vinyasa sequences in a way that isn't as good, meaning optimizing the postures and getting the maximum out of the postures, as if you actually had the proper technique. And I'm telling you this from my own experience, because some of these things, I was like that. I was practicing yoga in big group classes for over 10 years until a teacher who was a little bit more diligent than maybe some of the other teachers that I've been practicing with and showed me a few pointers, and I suddenly was like, oh, right, that's how you do that. And it changed my practice forever going forward. And as a teacher, I am quite focused on that, helping you get the right technique with asana practice so that you get to optimize each posture. And today we're going to start with cat and cow. So cat and cow is a sequence which is very often used in warm-ups for vinyasa classes, ashtanga classes, hatha classes, flow class, you name it. Cat and cow, and for some of you, you might have practiced cat and cow even hundreds of times. But what we're going to do today is we're going to add in a retention for the breathing. So you're going to take an inhale. What that means is you inhale, you're holding the breath, retaining the breath, and then you're exhaling, retaining. And that breath retention is a critical part of pranayama practice. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that now, but that will be for another lesson later. So coming down onto the mat, and we're coming into tabletop. So tabletop, the knees are underneath the hips. The back, this is not tabletop. It doesn't even look like a table. You can see that I'm hunched here and my shoulders are hunched. And this is actually much more uncomfortable and strenuous than this, which is essentially this down to this. Yeah? And my neck, you want the neck, your face to be looking down so that the back of the neck is nice and long and it's broad across the shoulders, and the arms are long, and that, so you're going from that to that, looking down. Fingers, index finger pointing to 12 o'clock. Take a full exhale, and we're going to begin with an inhale. The diaphragm lowers. The tailbone turns, you rotate the arms, and you draw the chest through. We're going to hold there. And then on an exhale, the diaphragm lifts, The navel's drawn in, and I'm walking up the spine, drawing the navel all the way in, emptying the air out, rotating the arms and chin in. Inhale. Rotate the arms. Move each vertebrae of the spine one by one. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Really taking your time, and I'm always saying this, I know, what is the rush? Rushing is for off the mat, not on it. Exhale. Chin in, draw the navel in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then we're going to exhale back to tabletop neutral. Extend the right leg back. So the right leg goes back. Looking back at the right leg, you can see the toes are tucked under. Nice and stable. Then lift that right leg off. Point the foot so that the foot is the same height as the hip. So we're not doing that. Stabilize there. Use the muscles. Have that pelvis in a neutral position, and extend the left arm forward. And just pause there. See if you can stabilize there. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, we're bringing the forehead, elbow, and the knee together, and we're drawing the navel in, and pause. Inhale, look forward at the left middle finger. Exhale. Draw the navel in, pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. And you might find that you're tempted to rush. Why? Inhale. Exhale. And actually, this is a lot harder doing it slowly. And then let's come back to tabletop. We're going to go to the other side. Left leg extends back, looking back. Look at that heel. Press back the heel and wake up the back of that leg. Extend the right arm forward, lift the left foot up. The hips are stable, so it's not one hip on top of the other, stabilizing it. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Draw the navel in. Big inhale, full exhale. Inhale. And by holding the breath, adding in this retention, you might find that it helps to keep you focused, because you've got it really focusing on the alignment. And you can get really into the detail of this. And then finish hand down, knee down, tabletop, back to cat and cow. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Back to tabletop. Position 1. We're going to extend the right leg back again, tuck the toes under, and then we're going to extend the left back. So we're in plank, and from plank, stabilizing there. So that the plank doesn't look like this, not lower back, but equally it's not something like this either. So if you can really get the shoulders, elbows and wrists stacked up, inhale, exhale the knees down. Rotate the arms, bend the elbows back, chin in between the hands. Slide the legs back, relax the buttocks, high cobra. Sliding the shoulders down the back so that the shoulders are not tense up to the ears, they're sliding down, and you can turn the head to the right and then to the left, right again, left, inhale, exhale, bum to heels, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Coming up onto the high mount of the feet, taking an inhale, exhaling the heels down. Once again, inhale, come high up onto the mount of the feet and then flow back to plank. Bend the knees, sit the seat back, straighten the legs, exhale the heels down. Inhale high on the mount of the feet, exhale flowing back to plank. Once again, bend the knees, sit back, straighten the legs, exhale the heels down. Inhale up, flow forward, plank. One more time, inhale, bend the knees, sitting back, heels down, flow forward to plank. This time from plank, we're going to bend the elbows, chaturanga, upward facing dog. Whoa, this is slow. But going back, downward facing dog. Bring the toes together, bend the knees so that knees go wide. Exhale, bum back to heels, roll in. Bring the knees together, toe squat. Sitting back on those heels, leaning back. Breathing there, 5. We're going to take 1 minute here of silence. So if you can bring the focus into one point and really quietening down the mind so everything left or right is starting to go out of focus. All the stimulating thoughts, all the noise, chatter, people talking in the other room, whatever that is, see if you can just completely come away from that. At the end of that exhale, hands down, heels up, let's wriggle the toes. And then the opposite direction again. And the opposite direction again. And then we're going to sit back on the heels and we're going to come up to kneel. And the next sequence that we're going to do is the camel sequence. So the toes are tucked under, the hips are in a neutral position. And I'm going to show you this in 3 parts. So the first part, just watch, is a lean back. And then coming up, let's do that together. So shrug the shoulders back with the elbows, take an inhale, and then an exhale, leaning back. And an inhale, coming up. Feel that in the thighs? Those thighs. Next one, I'll show you again. Lean back, hands on the heels, shoulders come together, hips go forward, open up the throat. Keep the hips moving forward. Take a full inhale and then an exhale, release and come back to neutral. Let's do that together. Inhale, exhale back. Hands on the heels, roll the shoulders back, hips go forward, front of the body opens, open up the throat. Take a full inhale, keep the hips moving forward, and an exhale, release. Coming back to kneel. Inhale fully, exhale fully, sitting back, and let's bring the feet out in front of us now. Feet out in front, and you're sitting up in Dandasana. Step the right foot in and open the right knee out to the side. The foot is as high as it can on the inside. You're rolling forward, so when you're coming into any forward fold, the pelvis needs to roll forward, so that the tail is slightly pointing back. You need to be in this position to do a forward fold. If you come into this position, you can see it's literally impossible. So when you come to here, you roll forward on the sit bones, and then you open up the arms. So you come up, inhale fully, and then on the exhale, you're going long with the back, long with the hands, and the right hand's on the outside of the left foot. Inhale, extend, exhale, fold. Now, if that foot is miles away, you can use a strap so that you can just make your arms, so that you can maintain that lovely straight back. I think that this is better practice than this, where the back is really rounding. You can see it's not the same posture. Whereas this, nice long back, and a nice juicy stretch in the back of that hamstring. So if you have tight hamstrings, this is for you. Looking forward, folding down, breathing there. 3, 4, and on 5 we're coming up, we're circling that arm over to the back, and we're extending the left arm. So we're going to extend the whole of the left side. Inhale, and on an exhale, we're going to bring that left forearm inside the left thigh. Look back and extend the right arm up, and then the bicep overhead. Pressing down on the thigh inside the left, pressing down on the forearm inside the left thigh. Body parts all getting mixed up. Take a full inhale there, exhale, and then inhaling, coming back up to sit. Bringing the right knee in, stepping the right foot over left, and we're going to wrap that arm around and do a nice twist. So in this sequence, we're just very slowly opening up the body and unraveling those stiff positions and using the breath, that little pause there, and then the exhale, the twist. Inhaling again, that pause there, and exhaling to twist, the little pause there. Inhale, and then exhaling all the way back through center, and we're going to do a nice dynamic change to the other side, the left foot. So the left foot comes to the inner thigh, and we open the left knee out to the side. Then that roll over the sit bones, the opening, and then on the exhale, going forward with a hand. Again, you can use this a strap, a yoga strap. If you don't have one of these straps, you could use a nice soft belt, you know, to something like this, to go forward. I wouldn't recommend those elastic ones. Use something that isn't elastic so you can fold forward. 2, 3, nice long back, looking forward. 4, and then on 5 we're coming up. We're circling that arm around and bringing it around the back. And then we're stretching the whole of the right side. Inhaling, and on the exhale, bringing the right forearm inside the left thigh and extending the left arm over. Nice and juicy there in the back. 4, 3, 4, and then on 5, windmilling back over, bringing the right knee in, stepping it over the left, and bringing the right elbow forward and twisting around to the left. And again, that breathing, taking a full inhale, and an exhale, rotating. An inhale, you're sitting up nice and high, you're squeezing the knee, and an exhale, you're rotating. Once more, inhaling fully, exhale, rotate. Inhale, exhale, rotate. Inhale, and then unrotate. Extending the legs out in front of you, and we're going to come down to the mat now, come to lie down, and finish off this nice deep short sequence with a nice twist. All of what I've shown you today is great for all of the typical things that many of us struggle with. Stiffness in the lower back and in the shoulders, tight hamstrings, all of these things that are just part of what have became normalized ways of living. But of course they're not normal, they're just very common. Let's wrap an eagle bind. So we wrap the left thigh over the right, and maybe you can tuck that left foot, wrap it around the back of the right calf. Maybe not, maybe the legs are just crossed. Draw the knees in towards the chest, and then relax the left hand, and with the right hand we're going to bring the knees to the floor on the right side, and then we're going to turn and look to the left, and we're going to take 5 breaths here. 1, 2, relax the tummy, 3, 4, and then on 5, unravel those legs, bring the knees back to center, straighten the legs in the middle, nice neutral spine. Let's take 2 breaths here. 2, really slowing it down, wrapping the right over left, bringing the knees into the chest and rolling onto the edge of the left hip. Knees come to the floor and then turning to the right, breathing there. Nice full inhale and a nice full exhale as you relax the navel drawn in. Full inhale, that little pause there, exhale. You'll find that adding that little pause in helps to slow it down, helps to take the energy of rushing away. Let's come back to center. And really intaking more oxygen as you're adding this pranayama technique to your yoga practice. Looking at the big toes. Relaxing here. Relaxing the face. Relaxing the legs. And in this waterfall, you really are, what I'm always saying, at the edge of discomfort, because it's quite relaxing having the feet like this, but you're also having to use some engagement here to keep the lower back down so that you're not doing this and rolling the tail off. You're actually pressing the tail down, moving the legs away. And then nice and slowly bending the knees, putting the feet gently on the floor, and then extending the legs out so that you're in a star-shaped Savasana. Let's take 5 breaths here. Inhale, pause, exhale. Inhale, pause, exhale. Inhale, pause, exhale. Inhale, pause, exhale. And you can stay here, or you can bring the knees into the chest and either roll gently up and down, coming up to sit, or roll over onto one side and coming up to sit. Sitting up, and when you come up to sit, you really notice, oh, feeling a lot lighter, looser, even in this short sequence, calmer. And let's just take a moment to come together, palms at heart center, just pressing gently on the sternum and connecting to that heartbeat there. Namaste. Hari Om. Happy yogaing.